Hello, fellow followers, and welcome back to the Physical Media Show tonight. And with me, as always, is Tom Connors and Fuck Your Best Buy Runner. How you going?
That's not my name, but thank you for having me on.
That's your name from now on.
No,
Fuck your Best Buy. 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 Just get that out of the way now.
Love it. I love it. I would say hail to everybody watching. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. We got Random Brad. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you here as always. Heather Peterson says hi. Well, hi, Heather Peterson.
Hi.
And Tim Hayes is saying hi to everybody. Hello, Tim Hayes. Glad to see you here.
Hello,
Cosmics. Yes. Cosmic Squirrel. Hail to one and all. Brian Barth. Hail to you. Hank VP. Hi, everyone. What else we got? I think that Dan Blackroyd. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Greetings, Dan Blackroyd, and making and waiting. Hey, sometimes we get to chatting and it's fun. But thank you guys for hanging with us, and share the link out, hit that like button, all the good stuff, subscribe, and I hope you're ready for some physical media talk and showcasing tonight. So is there anything you guys want to talk about real quick before we get into the picks? Oh.
Well, we just got some news from Shout Factory about some of their recent or new upcoming releases.
Yes, sir.
If you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we will be getting
Piranha has
Piranha.
a huge
Yeah.
special edition box. I'm bouncing back and forth. I don't know if I really want to spend $100 on just a poster and some pins here. You got to throw in something a little bit more, Shout Factory. Give me a fucking rubber piranha or one of those other little creatures.
You know, it is kind of crazy that they do that because, like, if you buy just like the 4K thing, you get a poster with it, and it's only like maybe $5 or $10 more for just a poster and the 4K, and then they put it up to $100 just for pins. So
yeah, I don't fucking want no pins. Like I said, if it had like a piranha or that goofy looking rubber creature, like then I would buy it.
Yeah.
But like I think I'm with. I don't know about you, but I think I'm gonna just go with the poster in the movie.
Yeah, you just get the 4K and the poster. Because I was looking at the Return of the Living Dead on there the other day. It's like $35 for the 4K and the poster, and it's like $100 for the 4K, the poster, and pins.
I did get the one.
that's great. That's insane.
Yeah. So, and even then, or if I could just go to Amazon, because I don't necessarily need the poster, but I kind of want the poster for Return of the Living Dead. It's only like $30 on Amazon. So, right. And so, but hail to everybody. Brian Barth has got some Steven Seagal movies. Deleted scenes. Welcome, Uncle Remus. Welcome. A couple of people joined us. Out for Justice and Fire Down Below. I liked Out for Justice. That wasn't too bad. Yeah. But yeah, we got that. We got The Company of Wolves, which I've always heard so many people talk about that as
I pre-ordered it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I've heard
Never
so many
even
people
heard of
say
it.
it's such a good movie, and it's coming to 4K, so that'd be
It's
interesting.
an
to see.
older horror movie.
Yeah, like a fantasy Red Riding Hood werewolf type thing or something.
It's like 80s something, I think it came out.
Yeah.
84, I think.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I could be wrong, way off, but hey, here.
It was the 80s, man. We know it. And then, of course,
84. Hey, I'm good.
Hey, there you go. All right. And of course, we got Robin Hood 4K, Prince of Thieves from Arrow.
Did you also get Rollerball from?
Yes, and Rollerball from Shout Factory in 4K, and Used Cars, Shout Select in 4K.
Cars. That's right.
Yeah. And
is Used Cars a good movie?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. I haven't seen it in years, but I couldn't believe it was getting a 4K. Honestly, it was kind of surprised me.
I only asked because I'm a big Kurt Russell fan.
I think their Blu-ray came with the was a 4K master to begin with.
Oh, was it?
Maybe.
Interesting.
It's not that old because I have it and it's still in plastic.
That's the thing is like a lot of these things that are getting 4Ks. I know it's kind of annoying, but it's what sells.
I didn't get it that long ago.
Yeah.
Like I know it ain't that old. So
yeah. And Universal Rock Nerd, welcome. Glad you're here. And
But that's another thing that kind of goes along with I swear sometimes instead of going by the studios or whatever, it almost seems like a director will go in and scan all their movies at once.
yeah,
It seems to be that way lately. Like, because all of a sudden we got all those John Carpenter movies, boom, 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 boom.
right.
And then, Spielberg's been releasing a lot of his since, the last couple of years here. And, we got almost all the Kubrick ones starting to come out in a row. But Hitchcock, we got a bunch of it. It almost seems like they go by director anymore than they do. Because it's not even by studio, right? Like, because almost all of Kubrick's movies, aside from a handful, are in 4K now, right?
Right.
And they may have 4K masters for all we know, they just haven't released them yet. And stuff like that. And, the same thing with, it seems like they sit on some of these forever. And I don't understand why, but we may even talk a little bit about that a little later, but yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, which is UK only from Arrow, is the 4K Wolf of Wall Street. So was there anything new on that? I didn't really look at that.
There's a couple new things on there, so the dirty bastards are going to make me buy it again. It's not like... It's like just a couple of new special features and swag. So if you're not that into any behind the scenes crap or anything like that, as far as I know, the scan and all that business is all going to be the same. The sound's all going to be the same. There's just an added bonus disc. So I'm assuming they're just going to let the movie breathe on one disc, and then all the extras are carried over to the second disc with, I think it's 3 new featurettes or whatever, interviews and stuff like that. And that's the thing with some of these. I'm glad that they add some new bonuses to some of them, but some of them have been some real chintzy, over Skype fucking interviews with people and stuff. And I get it. COVID was part of that, but it's like, come on, guys, put a little bit more effort than that into this. I mean, we do better shit than that over at Midnight's Edge. Give me a break.
Yeah.
But my audio is choppy.
It's a little bit. I didn't know if
let me redo my audio here, and I'll be right back.
All right.
No, but that Wolf of Wall Street announcement from Arrow was super fucking random. I'm just like, I already have it on 4K.
Yeah, it's not.
I have the Steelbook from Paramount. Why is Arrow doing a 4K for Arrow? I was so confused. I'm like, they better give us something. They better give us a reason to buy it.
I think it's mostly swag. So there's that.
I did see that. I was just wondering if there were any other bonus features or something.
I didn't look. Like I said, I didn't look at it. So Tom said there was a couple, but not much. Evening, Tyrell 72, and also Juan Carlos Gonzalez Jr. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you in the chat. And then we also got a confirmation on all the Christmas movies that are coming out. Elf, A Christmas Vacation. A lot of the Christmas classics. There's a big box set coming for this is the first time ever for anybody who's excited, wants all the original Rankin Bass Christmas things. They're putting out a big 20 disc box set of all the Rankin Bass Christmas specials.
What?
Wait, yes. Really? And it's 4K?
Where's the link?
No, it's Blu-ray. I don't know what's his name. Serial at Midnight posted it. He showed a picture of it too. It's a big, huge.
Well, Rudolph is getting a 4K though.
Yeah, Rudolph and them are getting a 4K. Rudolph, Frosty, and there's 2 more. The other 2 big classics I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, those are getting a 4K. But there's also a big, huge Rankin Bass Christmas 20 disc set coming just in time for the holiday season, man. So if you're a huge fan of that, I don't know what that's going to run. That's probably going to run.
I got one that has 4 discs in it and has a half a dozen of them all together on it. But I'd have to look and compare.
It's it's going to be big for that. But yeah, that's a lot of that. And we got most of those Christmas movies Elf and I Don't Care for Polar Express.
I like
and
Polar
Christmas
Express.
Story. Yes. Yeah, they're coming out in November. They should be out by the end of October, early November. So,
Christmas Story is a must. Christmas Vacation's a must.
Yes.
Polar Express can go fuck itself.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
Really?
Yeah, Robert Zemeckis went off the deep end with this whole I'm gonna do CGI and nothing but and have 1 or 2 actors play every part crap.
Exactly,
Like
man.
the best of that was Jim Carrey in the Christmas Carol one, and even that one's nothing to brag about.
Okay, just letting you guys know, I was a kid when I watched Polar Express. Okay.
Well, I mean, that I can see maybe. I mean, I'm not saying the story's bad, but to me, it just has that creepy, uncanny valley shit going on, and it's.
I didn't
I
I
will
didn't
say
see that.
Beowulf wasn't bad, but for some reason Beowulf worked. Like I didn't even notice that Beowulf was the same kind of shit until about a third of the way into the movie. I'm like, wait, is this all CGI? And then I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's all completely animated from top to bottom. It's none of it's real.
Yeah.
I kind of like that for some reason though. Maybe I'm just weird.
The
A Christmas.
Am I still roboting?
just a little bit.
Just
Well,
a little
I'm
choppy.
gonna restart my computer because everything crashed. I don't know what's going on or why it's doing that, but I'm just gonna reboot my whole computer. So it'll probably take me about 5 minutes. So
All right. Take
all
your
right, I'll
time.
talk to you guys in a minute. All right.
All right. See you in a minute.
All right, see you, Tom. But
Yeah.
but no, I like Polar Express. I don't care what anyone says.
I didn't like it. The kids had cold, dead eyes.
Okay.
Tom Hanks was creepy. Every version of Tom Hanks in that movie was just creepy as crap.
First of all, I didn't find it creepy. Second of all, I was a kid when I watched it, and third of all, because I was a kid when I watched it, I like the idea of imagining you went to the North Pole and you like meet Santa at the end and all that. Like I loved that. Like
just read the book, man.
Okay.
It's shorter and better.
Okay, maybe I will, but like I'm just saying, like just watching it at the time was like it was like magical as hell.
I get it as a kid. I get it because that's what I can understand. Like even my nephew, when he saw it, he liked it as a kid, and you guys are he's a little older than you, but still. But I didn't like it. I didn't care. I think the book is much better.
Okay, but like
exactly, it's like Tyrell says, it's all good. Like what you like. It's true. You guys like what you like. I have no thing like that.
It's not my favorite Christmas movie, but like I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'll get the 4K anyway, and then I'll rewatch it then, and I'll like give you like my review now to see if I like it more or less.
Yeah. Hell, James Clark artist, glad to see you here, man.
But a Christmas Story.
Christmas Story, which is a must-have, and A Christmas Vacation. I know you don't like A Christmas Story. I know.
It's not that I don't like it. I just think it's overrated.
I don't. And they're actually doing a sequel, by the way, which I just heard. Peter Billingsley is coming back for the sequel.
Okay, I don't care.
He's the kid.
Yeah, I know he's the kid, but like I just don't care about a sequel.
Yeah, because you're an ass.
What?
I'm just
okay, dude, seriously, for anyone who likes A Christmas Story, do you want a fucking modern day sequel?
No, I don't want a sequel at all, but
exactly.
It's what Hollywood does nowadays.
Well, no, exactly. But like Elf, that's a must have. I love that fucking
Elf
movie.
is all right. It's
okay, Elf is
it's good. It's funny, but it's
Elf is fucking great. Shut up.
I never said it wasn't. It's good. I like it.
It's good. I like
must
it more
right off the bat.
I like it more than Polar Express. You happy?
Yes, I love. It's miles ahead Polar Express, and it is funny. I like Will Ferrell on that. It's a really good movie, and it's fun.
What other? Your other. I had it coming.
Yeah.
What other Christmas thing is coming out? Because there's like a ton of stuff.
I think that's about it for the Christmas stuff.
Okay.
All the four major, like Frosty, Rudolph, Santa Claus is coming to town, and I cannot remember the other one. This are all getting 4Ks, and then like the big Rankin Bass Christmas box set.
Hold on a second to go away from the Christmas stuff. Reservoir Dogs is getting a steelbook.
Yes, Reservoir Dogs is getting one of those Lionsgate steelbooks that Best Buy gets.
Yeah, so is Highlander, and the Highlander steelbook looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, the Highlander one is getting one for the U.S. because I know we covered the Highlander 4K from Studio Canal, but yes, we are getting a U.S. version, and it's going to be one of those Lionsgate slipcover steelbooks, more than likely at Best Buy. Peter Billingsley he's in Elf. He's one of the elves, and he is friends with Jon Favreau. He's really good friends with him. So Him and Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau are all really good friends.
Who's friends with John? What are you talking about? Sorry.
The kid from A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
He's in Elf too.
Oh, he's in. I mean, I know Jon Favreau directed and was the doctor in Elf. I remember that.
Yeah.
Um,
The Jack of all trades. I know it's just talking about Christmas releases. I'm excited for Halloween right now. I'm kind of gearing up for some stuff I want to do for October for Halloween. But we're just talking because they just announced all the Christmas movies coming here soon. So that's why we're talking about them. But go ahead, man.
I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
I was just looking at. I'm just looking at the upcoming releases and shit.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Brian Barth, I don't mind the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol one. I don't mind it. It's like Tom said, it's probably the best of the Robert Zemeckis CGI ones. I don't mind it. I can watch it. I feel you. Deleted scenes. The Best Buy is not what it once was. Not at all. Not at all.
Mine's still hanging on.
Yeah, we know. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy.
All right. Listen, the one one of the other ones near me stopped selling physical media. So fuck that Best Buy, but the one closest to me, don't not fuck that Best Buy because they actually still have physical media. So
no, fuck that Best Buy. But
which one though?
All your Best Buys.
You're so stupid.
Uncle Remus, the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles 4K, I believe comes out early November too, or end of October. I can't remember, but it is coming. Yeah. I don't know if they've quite announced a date yet, but it is coming this year. I'm looking forward to that one too. I love that movie. Also, I was wanting to bring this up because I saw this earlier. Any fans of the movie The Guyver? The first Guyver. I know you don't know what that is, Runner. I know it. The first Guyver movie was originally supposed to be coming from Unearthed Films, sometime this year, and it's going to be the R-rated cut. Things have changed a little bit, but they've changed for the better. All right, because fans of this movie, it does have Mark Hamill in it. The Guyver is now going to be coming. Yes, the Mark Hamill Guyver. It's going to be coming in 4K from Unearthed Films. It was originally scheduled to be just a Blu-ray, but I guess when they went in there and started scanning it and everything, they decided just to make it into a 4K. So it will be coming on 4K. So there you go. For any fans of that, I personally like that movie, but I like the sequel better. But I would like to have both of them. So they're both awesome. No, not MacGyver. Hey,
did you hear that there's a few Tarantino 4K releases that are getting postponed to next year?
I did. I seen. I can't remember who was posting that. It might have been the Disc Father. I don't know.
No, I think it was. I think they said it's probably Jackie Brown or Kill Bill.
I heard Jackie Brown was getting postponed and Kill Bill was being postponed.
What about Pulp Fiction? Let me look at that because I just looking through the Disc Father's Twitter. Okay,
the Scottish version of MacGyver.
I guess Pulp Fiction is delayed till December 6th. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's coming.
Saturday Night Fever, if anyone cares.
Yeah, Saturday Night Fever is coming.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Yeah. Guyver sequel, yes, does star David Hayter. Yep.
Oh, and it's getting a and
yeah. Remember, Tom just told us that Pulp Fiction's coming November 1st. Remember, he just saw it.
Is it November 1st or December? I'm so fucking confused now. Well, if it's November 1st, then even better.
Yeah.
I forgot Tom said that.
Yeah, he said it.
Damn it, Tom, fix your damn computer. I'm just kidding.
I think that's about it. I could check real quick. Let's see what do we got. If there's anything you missed here. Nobody cares.
I feel like I got everything. There's a few other things I think are in here, but obviously no one cares. I guess Everything Everywhere All at Once is getting a steelbook release.
Another one?
Not another one. It
I
never.
thought it already had a steelbook at one point.
I don't think. Did it? I don't know if it was a steelbook. I think you're just. I think that was just another like concept for a slipcover. The one with all the eyes and stuff. That wasn't a steelbook release. That was an actual slipcover. Like the steelbook is like the actual like poster art, which looks way better. Because the one with like the eyes and all that, like the slipcover I have is all right, but then like the one with the eyes is like super lame.
Cool. All right. Saturday Night Fever is way more solid than most people remember. I remember it being a decent flick.
Yeah, and for a Paramount release, it's actually the 4K is actually coming with the Blu-ray.
The fuck. Oh, there you are.
You sound
back. How's it going?
Do I sound better or not?
Yeah, that sounded better.
Okay. Hope so. Because I just rebooted everything. All right, what are we talking about?
We was talking about what was new. So I think we got to Saturday Night Fever. And I think that was about it. I think that's about all the newer ones that's come out. Like we said, nothing too huge, but yeah. So who wants to? I guess that's
huge.
Huge. It's going to be huge.
Did you really just? Did I just robot again?
A little bit of sound looks like.
What is going on?
Robo Tom. Like
I don't understand what's going on.
That sounds now you sound like really clear. So
okay, I hope so because I'm getting pissy about it. Sorry.
Okay.
Robo Tom should be a movie. Dun 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 dun. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Oh, is Dr. No getting a UK steelbook? I didn't see that. So
fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy. Fuck your Best Buy.
What the fuck was that for?
Just cause.
We didn't mention Best Buy at all.
It's just cause,
have
man.
to.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
You'll older, you'll understand.
Yeah.
Wait, Dr. No UK Steelbook? That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish it was well, is it 4K?
I don't know, I didn't see it, but
because I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything about that. Wait,
we lost Tom again.
Seriously? God damn.
Okay, and he's back. You okay?
Okay.
I think so. I'm about ready to call my internet and complain because, like, ever since I paid my internet bill the other day, my internet has been nothing but issues.
I hate when it happens. They like throttle it here at times for whatever reasons.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. But if you guys are ready to start showcasing what we got, we can get into that. And Tim Hayes, yes, we tend to get foul-mouthed once in a while.
Absolutely.
And like he says,
completely fucking foul-mouthed.
Yeah, but you sound all right now. So let's get the party started.
Let's try.
Runner, what do you have for us for your first pick of the night?
All right, my first pick of the night is it's a steelbook. It's I believe this is Shout Select because I know Shout Select is doing a 4K release for this pretty soon. I just watched it a few days ago, and I thought it was a pretty good movie. It's an Oliver Stone film. I've heard people say it's his like most popular film, and yeah, that is Platoon.
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 It's a good flick.
Nice. Yeah.
I like it.
It's got tiger blood in it.
Winning. Runner's winning.
Yeah, I'm by winning.
No, and I got this when Shout had the Steelbook sale.
Yeah. Well, that's why they had to sell, because it was coming in 4K down the line.
I thought they were on the sale because fucking like they were just like they were like going out of print or some shit.
Some of
Well,
them
that-
are, but that's because they're re-releasing them as 4Ks now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but yeah, I don't know. I got it anyway because
I've been
it's a
real
steel book.
selective when I go through their sales. 'Cause it's like, okay, what are the odds of this getting a 4K remaster? What does it have a 4K master? Shit like that.
Yeah. Pick of the Night sounds like a heavy metal Batman song. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get the JFK 4K. I don't know if that's coming. But yeah, so
But
you enjoyed it, huh?
I'm sure it will eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure to come. So you
Probably
enjoyed it? You dug it?
Anniversary of something.
Yeah.
I did like it. I didn't like it as much as The Doors.
Doors is a great movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed The Doors a little bit more, but that's just me.
That's fine.
That's one of Oliver Stone's movies.
Yeah. But it is,
Well, those are the only two movies I've seen from him, from what I remember. So
Because the rest of them are just kind of like, that's like very subjective, I'd say.
was Born on the 4th of July good with Tom Cruise?
I haven't seen that in so long. I don't remember if that was better than Platoon or not.
Okay.
And JFK was one that I had a rough fucking time watching. But I know a lot of people seem to like that one.
I didn't like it really. It was kind of too long and boring for me.
What, JFK?
JFK, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad movie.
No, but it's... And I like courtroom dramas and all, but it's very...
slow and methodical.
Yes. There's a lot of talking.
Yes. Doors has come a long way. It's become a little more popular.
Oh, yeah.
Than
Doors is pretty popular, yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to get the 4K for that.
Nixon. I forgot about Nixon. Is that the one Anthony Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember if I watched that one or not.
I think I've a vague recollection of it. It was a while, so.
I totally dislike Natural Born Killers.
I know.
I haven't seen that one either, but I'll need to. I'm curious. I'll watch it though. I'll be honest.
Runner might like it though. I didn't find it
Really?
too bad, but then, yeah.
I don't know. And then everybody always told me I should watch the director's cut too, and I think I tried, and I was just like, whatever.
It's not like one of my favorite movies, but I remember liking it a little bit, but I've never really gone back to it, so. It was that. But as a good pick tonight, Runner, that'll probably be somebody else will have that probably down the line when it comes out on 4K. So, thoughts on Salvador? I don't think I've ever seen Salvador. Yeah, I can't give you thoughts on that. So, but a good one. That is a nice slick steelbook, though. I did like the cover of that. It was nice and shiny, and it wasn't too bad of a cover there. So
Johnny Depp's in it.
Yeah.
But no, I liked it. It was that third act is fucking great. Honestly, like it felt so fucking real.
It's a good job. Good job.
Like it legit like looked like a real life war going on, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, after watching that, I'm just like, damn, like I want to get the 4K just for the third act. Because I bet that looks incredible and all that, and the sound design and all that's great.
Yeah. I wish I could talk a little more on it, but it's been so long since I've seen it, so I don't remember too much.
And it kind of, honestly, maybe this is just me. I felt like it kind of sucked that Willem Dafoe like died. Honestly,
it's because he steals the movie. It's like they mentioned in the chat earlier. It was like a career-making performance. He steals the movie in that movie. So
yeah, and I know he's fucking great. And then like, and then I watched like how he dies and all that, and it's like, fuck, Tropic Thunder stole that.
Duh, this was
From the
Tropic
very beginning.
Thunder is making fun of, or well, it's a satire comedy of all that stuff. So
Yeah, I know. Well, I know, but after watching Platoon, it's like, damn, like Ben Stiller took a lot from Platoon. I mean, like obviously some from like Apocalypse Now and all that, but like
yeah,
I
multiple
saw,
ones.
yeah, but I saw more of Platoon though. Yeah, when did this movie come out? Like fucking
86.
decades ago. 86?
Some people have never seen it.
Fuck that.
Oh, I did. You know, I did like that movie, Uncle Remus. We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson. That wasn't too bad of a movie.
Yeah, 1986. Dan Blackroyd, it came out in 1986. If you haven't seen a movie around then too fucking bad. I don't want to know the end of Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise dances at the end. The end.
Anyways, Runner, now that you're going to piss everybody off, what do you got for us, Tom? You think you can top that?
No, probably not. I don't know.
Probably not.
Well, for this week for Toxic Tuesday, we watched Blazing Saddles. If I ever have to have a reason to watch Blazing Saddles, I take it. In fact, this is the one movie of Mel Brooks' Spaceballs that I have had more copies of, because it was released twice on DVD in 2 different editions, and it was released on Blu-ray in 2 different editions. Plus, I bought the Mel Brooks. The Mel Brooks had a copy of it, the old copy of it. This is the 40th anniversary edition. Has some goodies, but not much. Some lobby cards. The special features are all the same as before, but it has a new ABC version of it instead of the old one. Which a lot of people, myself included, thought it was a new scan. It turns out it's not.
Oh, really?
So this one is due for a 4K scan. You hear me, Warner Brothers? Get it done before people cancel this movie.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was going to say to you.
For one.
Do you think you would ever get one with everything that's going on?
I would fucking hope so.
I hope so too.
Because 2 years from now will be the 50th anniversary.
I hope so. Fingers crossed, man.
And it's been released quite a few times by Warner Brothers. It's one of their biggest sellers. In fact, it is the first video that Warner Brothers ever released back in the day.
Nice. But I have a question for you. Where the white woman at?
I get no kick from champagne.
I have Blazing Saddles on Blu-ray, but it comes with the set with Caddyshack and one of the Lampoon Vacation movies.
It is true. It is true what they say.
I can't believe they cut the best line out of that. Yeah, man, do it though. Because right after she goes, "Is it true what they say? It's true, it's true, it's true." And he goes, "Miss, you're sucking on my elbow."
Oh, I love that, man. That's such a good movie.
Oh, it's a classic. So yeah, we had fun talking about it. It's probably one of the longest Toxic Tuesdays we ever had talking about it, considering the movie itself is barely 90 minutes.
Wow.
But no, it's a classic. It needs a 4K upgrade, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does. So. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love that. Oh, I didn't know that. What says what?
I could honestly see someone like Kino Lorber do it if Warner Brothers will let him.
Hopefully they'll do it because it does deserve a 4K. It is an all-time classic. People love that movie to this day. It needs it before somebody decides that we can't play this ever again.
I know. That's why I bought, like, I was looking through like Amazon of like Blazing Saddles, like DVD or Blu-rays or whatever, and like I think the cheapest one I could find was the one where it came with Caddyshack and I forgot it was one. I think it was European Lampoon's Vacation or whatever it was. Like it was that set, and Blazing Saddles came with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I showed it once.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, I showed it once on this show.
Yeah.
That's the version of Blazing Saddles that I have.
Now this I didn't know. John Wayne was approached by Mel Brooks to play the Waco Kid.
I didn't know if I knew that or not, but I don't know if John would have played it quite right.
No, it wouldn't have worked with him. I mean, it could have been funny, but I don't think it would have worked with him.
Clint Eastwood would have been more in line than John Wayne.
Yeah, that could have worked. Pork Lips. I've never heard of Pork Lips. I have to look at that. Horror Mike, welcome. Yeah, the 40th anniversary edition is the collection. Yeah, that's what. But it's such a great movie. So many great lines. It's stuff you can't get away with today. The campfire scene with the beans.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it.
What's funny is when this movie was first shown on TV, the fart sounds were cut out.
Oh, really?
Right? You just see guys getting up and sitting down, and you don't know. You know, if you didn't know the joke, you don't know what's going on. But all the N-words and stuff were left in for the television broadcast. Because back then you could get away with that. Now,
couldn't fart, but you could say the other thing.
Yeah, now fast forward to years later, the Family Channel ended up showing it a little while back. But in their version, the farts were reinstated, but all the N-words and the name Shtup was changed. Which is funny, because watching it again the other night, I'm like, God, this would barely rate a PG-13 now. Right. Really. I mean, outside of the slurs. And I know that's the only reason it would get an R now. Back then it did, just because of more of the adult-leaning content. But yeah, if it would have come out 10 years later, it would have got rated at PG-13, I bet.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Because I don't even think
there's no F words in it at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's an F word in it at all. So, yeah. It would get away with it nowadays, other than...
Do what he say, do what he say.
He go kill.
I don't want to die. Isn't somebody going to help that poor man?
But it is such a good movie, man. It is. I just think about it. I start laughing, like, and start thinking about the scenes and Harvey. Harvey Korman. Oh man.
Affairs of the state must take precedent before the affairs of the state. What is wrong with you? Can't you see that man is a... Hang on one second. Wrong man. I'm sorry. What in the world is wrong with you? Can't you see that man is a...
When the new sheriff's coming to town. New sheriff's coming to town. Well, he's a... It's a good movie, though. It's
I
good.
love it.
It's such a classic, and it really does need a 4K scan, and it'd be awesome to have. So Warner Brothers, get on that. Get on it.
Well, like I said, the 50th anniversary is in 2 years, so I got to imagine it's something that's on the...
Hopefully someone on the right.
On the spigot or whatever. Well, and I think, he just did Spaceballs in 4K, so I wonder.
Yep. For Kino. So maybe Kino will get it. You never know. Because we did see...
That was a Fox title, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But we did see... was it Kino that got a Warner Brothers? No, it was Arrow got...
Yeah, Arrow recently got Robin Hood, which how they pulled that off, I do not know.
So maybe we'll get lucky.
Unless it was just because Warner wanted some way to amortize the cost of the 4K scan, I'd imagine. That's the only way I could see them doing this.
Yeah.
So... Because it was a huge movie, so...
Mm-hmm. Because everything I do, it's true.
It's true. Tired of being admired. Let's face it. Everything below the waist is kaput.
I'm going to have to watch this again now. I'm going to have to break out my copy and watch it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I can remember. It's just a good movie.
What about the women and the children? Do you let them live? Oh hell no! We rape the
fact.
It could probably get a PG-13 rated, but I don't know if they could get away with some of that stuff they did in that. They barely
got any dimes. Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes. Screw you, buddy. I work for Mel Brooks.
And I just love the whole aspect of when it breaks out and they're chasing each other and it turns into a movie within a movie or whatever, and they're like on the
We were
stage
talking
and
about that
everything.
the other night. We were trying to figure this. I think we all just figured out that Mel Brooks just didn't know how to end the movie.
Yeah, so
Because
he
you get
kinda
to a
just
point where it's like it would just be every other Western at the end, just a shootout.
right.
So I'm sure they're just like, what do we do that's different? And they're just like, well, what do we literally break the fourth wall? I mean, we've been breaking the fourth wall this whole movie.
Right.
Might as well just go that extra mile. So like, I think that's kind of where it came from, maybe, because I can't think of any other reason why, and I've never heard him give an explanation as to why. But
It's gotta be. Yeah. But it's a good pick, and I know my first pick is not going to top either one of those first two picks because this is the odd pick out that I got because it's the one. I guess I'll go ahead and show it.
all
All right. Maybe good here. Raven with Jason Momoa.
never heard of it.
It's one of the movies he made when he was slumming before he was real famous.
Raven.
Oh, I think
Raven.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Raven. It's not a bad movie. It's a action flick. Stars Jason Momoa and Stephen Lang. They play father and son. Jason Momoa, his wife, and his father, they live out in like Alaska, and his dad, Stephen Lang, plays Jason Momoa's dad, and he's got like Alzheimer's and stuff, but they're badass, they're Stephen Lang and Jason Momoa, and then somebody is moving heroin across the country, and they have an accident, so they hide the heroin in Jason Momoa's cabin that he has, and so when him and his dad go up there to the cabin to talk, there's heroin there, and there's a bunch of criminals coming after the heroin, so they gotta fight them off. So that's the extent of the movie, and it's not a bad little movie. It's a straightforward action flick. It's Garrett Dillahunt, who some of you guys may know from Deadwood, and he did a show on Fox, a movie TV show on Fox. I can't remember, where they had a kid, but he plays the bad guy. He plays a really good bad guy, and he actually kicks Jason Momoa's ass a lot in the movie. So it's not a bad movie. So if you're looking for like a quick, like 90-minute action flick, you can't go wrong with this. It's not too bad. I enjoyed it. It's nothing special. Oh yeah. He's in Sarah Connor Chronicles too. Jason Garrett Dillahunt. Yeah. So, but I knew that wouldn't be as big as your guys' Run Platoon and Blazing Saddles. But that's sort of my odd man out because the other two are new. I got newer well, they're older titles, but new to me. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys on that one. Okay, any thoughts or comments? All right.
No.
And Runner, you would enjoy it.
All right, I'll check it out. That doesn't seem like the type of movie I'd be like in a hurry to see, but
No, it's not, like I said, it's nothing to be in a hurry about. But if you're like action flicks, if you're just in the mood for like a snowy action type flick movie, it's fine. Yeah, like Steven here, deleted thing says, for not bad for a mid-budget action film, worth a look. It is. It's not too bad.
all right.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to you, Runner. What do you got for your next pick?
For my next pick, I think Greg and Tom like this one. I watched this one recently too. Maybe you will. I don't know. It's a Universal release. Honestly,
It ruined my childhood.
I bet
that piece of shit can burn in hell for all I can.
God, you guys are stupid. I'm surprised after seeing this movie. I thought this looks like the type of movie that would get a like a Shout Factory type of release, but it didn't. This was actually a studio release. It's based off a Marvel character. Is Howard the Duck.
Oh, I have that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I have that one. It's a good one. It
I
looks
haven't watched the
decent in
4K
4K.
version yet, but
It's not too bad. It's got its moments of
not
clarity with the 4K scan.
Yeah, it's not a bad scan.
No, it's not bad scan. It's good.
I'm still trying to figure out. There's a couple shots in there. I swear they're in VHS quality, and I don't understand why.
Maybe it has something to do with that.
Is that just from the Blu-ray though that you've seen?
I have no idea. No, it was from the 4K. I don't know what it is. Why it looks like that.
It's a good movie though. I enjoy it. Yeah. That is something that you normally
Specifically, it's the boob scene.
Yeah. The duck boob scene.
Yeah, there's bits and pieces like that scene where he's flying through the walls. It looks like it's in VHS quality in some shots for some reason. I never could figure it out.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't film it the right way they wanted it.
With that, or I was thinking Lucas might have been messing with some stuff to just test out stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, but I dig it. I like Howard the Duck. I know a lot of people, give a crap, but it's a fun movie, and yeah, I would have thought that could have been something
it is been
a boutique label, but
it is pretty fun. But just because of the type of movie it is, it's like I was like, this looks like something that would be released from a boutique label like Shout Factory, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is good, and I like it. And Howard was the man, and Leah Thompson is smoking hot in that.
Oh
and
God, yeah.
It is very awkward between them in the bed, but she had a nice booty, so.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit awkward of a situation because at one hand it's Leah Thompson and she's super hot, and then the other hand it's like,
it's
is she going to go
duck.
all the way with this duck in this bed?
Right.
Are they going to go that far? And
yeah,
that's one of the many reasons it did not do so well back in the day, and people couldn't stand it.
That's probably the best way to describe it.
But it has good moments and bad moments in it. It's a good one. Uncle Remus, I wouldn't hold your breath on a Willow 4K, considering that Disney owns Willow, and they're doing the new TV series that looks awful. So I wouldn't count on a 4K.
Yeah, if they were gonna do it, they'd have probably done it in conjunction, or whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Aren't they working on a Tombstone 4K?
Supposedly,
but I've heard it's been on and then delayed, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, because I haven't heard, or I don't think any of us had heard much word from that for a while. I just remember that was like rumored months ago or something.
Yeah, because I heard it was confirmed, and then I heard it wasn't confirmed, and it was confirmed again. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's a good. We get it eventually.
I hope it's a good scan too. That's probably the one movie I'm most worried for.
I wish, like Tom said, I didn't have on the DVD, or is it a Blu-ray? I can't. No, it's the DVD. I wish they'd give us the extra stuff that was cut out of it. The one copy of it. That'd be nice, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was that your first time seeing Howard the Duck?
Yeah, it's all right. It's an interesting movie. It's not one I'd rewatch all the time.
It's a movie that was much benign when it first came out, and then people started to latch onto it and have fond memories. I have fond memories of it. I enjoyed it. I've seen it a bunch of times.
It's like one of those weird cult movies, I guess.
Yeah. It was meant to be one of the biggest movies of that year, and it turned out to be a very big disappointment.
Yeah.
They talked it up. George Lucas kind of tried to advertise it like E.T., and it just didn't work. They didn't show Howard at all during the advertising campaign till the movie came out. That's why that poster that's on the video you got there, you can't see his face. And shit like that. And the other poster is his face there's a beak coming out of a egg.
Yep. I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And Jeffrey Jones, he did play a really good bad guy in that movie. He gets kind of creepy in that.
I mean, it does follow some of the shit from the comic pretty well, but it gets some of the tone wrong. And George kind of tried to push it more in a kiddie direction, I think was another problem.
Yeah, which is weird because it also has duck boobs and like we talked about
He
earlier.
was trying to tread that line a little too close, right? Like it was just, it's like either you go out and make a full-on PG-13 R-rated Howard the Duck movie, or you don't.
Right.
Because you can't really just half-ass it like you did here.
True.
And I mean, it was supposed to be the start of a new franchise, and it didn't work out for him, so whatever.
Yeah. But at least we can look back on it fondly now and enjoy it for the way we have it now instead of the way it was. But Tom, if you're ready for your next one, and Runner, if you have anything else to say.
Nah, I don't have anything else to say.
All right. Tom, you ready for your next one?
It's my turn to go?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
They say I gotta go.
Go big or go home.
Go Godzilla.
Ooh. Is that the original?
Yeah, the original, yeah. And actually, I have my old DVD copy here of one of the worst versions ever. They take the sound and they tried to do like this 5.1 mix, and it's literally like just them panning the sound all over the place. It's just it's bad. So that's a horrible one. But no, this is a Criterion Collection edition, and I actually have a multiple copy of this one. It's also in the big book set that I may share at one point. Yeah. But I do like this. It's got a nice.
It looks good.
Did it?
I want to get that.
You're better off getting the big set, but
that's
that
cool.
part's kind of cool.
There's a big set, then I'll get that.
Yeah, the big book set has the entire first era. This has, of course, both the American version and the original version on it. In some ways, I kind of prefer the American version. That's the one I kind of grew up on. That's the version that's on here.
It's one you see when you're a kid over here anyways.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, but I enjoy it. The only difference is they put some sequences in different order. They chopped some stuff out of the Japanese version that slowed down the story. They filmed Raven Burr, of course, in the American version, and inserted him into the movie as a completely new character. They changed some of the meanings of some things, but other than that, it was fairly close. But of all of them, this one and another one, the American version probably changed the most from the Japanese version. So yeah, it's kind of cool. They have both versions. They got a lot of behind the scenes interviews with a lot of people, and there's a lot of reading a lot of subtitles. So you got to get used to that. But
yeah, I mean, it's Godzilla movie.
The skin overall, I mean, it's a bit rough. I wish they had a better skin of the movie. The U.S. scenes in the U.S. version actually don't look bad at all. Those you can tell are from a closer generation, but no, I mean you could find much worse versions of this film. I'll tell you that much. And some people do prefer the Japanese version. It's much more serious in tone. In fact, the American version starts where like 2/3 of the way into the Japanese version, which is weird.
It's true.
It wraps around itself kind of story-wise, to where the Japanese version is just kind of straightforward. No, I mean, the American version still retains all the neat stuff in it and all the cool effects of the time. And, it's kind of an extension of Kabuki theater and how they would use the Godzilla costume and the miniatures. And you also have the puppetry and all that kind of stuff. And, that aspect of it. Then, of course, you just have the social commentary part of it with the whole, the fear of nuclear war and the effects of the H-bomb and all that kind of stuff. And just,
Classic
in general, yeah, it's a classic film. Is it as good as, like King Kong? No. But Godzilla, I mean, hey.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I always liked King Kong myself, and much like when they try to put them together, I'm always like Godzilla's going to win because it's everybody's favorite. And that's when they did that. But I always enjoyed it. I enjoyed King Kong
one though.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the thing. It always kind of surprised you that Kong won. You're like, oh my god, they let Kong win because the popularity of Godzilla was always so huge, and it just seemed like it
kind of nerfed it in the new one a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed the new one, but yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of both
no-
let him have like a round or whatever.
yeah, it was all right. It had it was good. I did not see Shin Godzilla. Did you see Shin Godzilla? Because I've heard
Yes.
this one's has a bit of a contention about it. Some people like it, and some people don't.
It's different. I may talk about it soon. It's technically a remake of Godzilla.
Mhm.
I actually like it quite a bit. So Andre likes that one too.
I've been meaning to see that because that's been like I've asked a couple people because, like I said, I've heard some people say it's not good at all, and then I've heard some people say it's really, really good. And I'm like,
No, it's good.
I want to see it.
Because you have
Yeah.
two sides of it. You have the Godzilla retelling, which is just basically, the monster coming onto land and destroying everything. But what's cool is you actually get to see it go through an evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Like it starts out as like this water-breathing, limbless creature, and then eventually it starts breathing air, and then it starts growing limbs, and then it starts walking, and it starts breathing fire, and it's like you just kind of see it, and then the it's kind of satirical at the same time, because then on the other side of this, it's technically a comment on how the government dealt with one of the meltdowns of one of their nuclear plants, or whatever it was, because the whole thing is they spent too much time debating on what they should do while the crisis was going on instead of actually doing something.
Right.
So that's kind of the whole joke of this movie. Like they literally have them having meetings to have a meeting. It's like you got Godzilla ripping up the coastline. What the fuck are you doing? And they spend a lot of the movie just kind of deciding what to do about Godzilla while Godzilla is just destroying Japan endlessly, and it's hilarious how it works out. And they even gave Godzilla new power where he has like a mandible. This is where people kind of have problems with it. He has like a mandible jaw, whatever you call it, where it splits out at the bottom.
Oh,
so
yeah.
then when he shoots out his nuclear power, it shoots out multiple beams, and then he also splits out his tail, and his tail also shoots out the beams. So he'll like do this like thing, and it like fucking just obliterates everything. It's like this weird thing. Like it's a very cool version, and the way they did the special effects is some of the greatest CGI I've ever seen. But the cool part is they try to still retain the guy in a suit look.
No, really?
So it's CGI and it's real looking, but it's like still kind of almost has that there's a guy in a suit feel to it. Some of the shots are so amazing though, because they do it with the proper perspective and everything, unlike the original film. So it's like it's hard to explain. Like it almost looks like it's a guy in a suit the way it moves, but it still looks like proper perspective and CGI. It's really, really well done special effects.
Nice.
But yeah, and I mean it's a kind of slow moving movie at the start, but once it gets going, it's pretty interesting, especially once you know that kind of side of it where you're like, what are these guys doing? They're just sitting around having a bunch of meetings and shit.
I think, because I've heard some people complain about how it's just a bunch of people always talking in meetings and stuff. And
that's
then,
part of the joke. If you know anything about the meltdown and what happened, that's the whole thing, is they ended up having a bunch of meetings debating on what to do instead of actually dealing with the crisis.
Exactly.
So then by the time it was over, it was like,
No, see, I'd get that. See, and then I would probably like this one. Because I've been meaning to get it to it, but like I said, I'm just like, okay, I got to get to it.
Well, what's sad is it was supposed to start a new series, a new franchise, or whatever you want to call it. It just never did, because the American version got involved, and they originally were planning on releasing one every other year, alongside the American ones, and then they just decided not to when the American version was successful enough that they figured they were making enough money off that, I guess.
The American ones are so.
Godzilla versus Kong changed that game.
Yeah,
because they made over almost $500 million in the middle of the pandemic.
Yep.
Which is more money than Godzilla King of Monsters made when there wasn't one. So,
yeah.
I saw Godzilla versus Kong in the theater. First movie I saw in a while in theater.
There's no real reason to believe that movie wouldn't have made $1 billion, which is crazy considering the first two Godzilla movies and Kong barely grossed like $200-300 million each.
Dude, my friends and I tried to go opening night to see Godzilla versus Kong at like some AMC or whatever, and all the showings were sold out. All of them were fucking sold out. So And
Well, that's when they were also having limited seating, I think, too, because of the COVID, probably.
yeah, there's that as well. And plus, like, I just remember seeing people just going in the theater because it's like people just want to get out of their fucking house. I feel
Yeah.
like that was another reason too.
Well, that
But
helps.
so then my friends were just like, forget it. I'm just gonna watch it at home on HBO Max or
Mhm.
whatever. And I was just like, no, fuck that. I want the theatrical experience. So then I went the next day by myself. And it's I think with less humans, I would have liked it more. It's an alright film.
I think it's got a better balance than the last two, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's probably the
It does.
best.
It has a better balance. Yeah.
Yeah. Or last three, anyway.
I was gonna say
Even
'cause,
Kong had too many humans.
I like Kong Skull Island.
I did like Kong Skull Island, but it still had too many humans.
It did, but it was one of the better ones
It
in my
is, yeah.
opinion.
But
Like
at least
it-
they're meant that their being there makes more sense.
Yeah.
like I was half asleep. What year did the Godzilla movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson come out?
was present.
2014.
Yeah.
2015. Yeah, I nearly fell
14,
half
I
asleep.
think it was.
I nearly fell half asleep watching that movie.
Yeah, that's probably the weakest of the new Godzilla ones.
Yeah, and then King of Monsters was like, it was.
King Monster was good, but that woman was so fucking annoying, and like we talked about before.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it's
If you
like-
cut out the mom storyline, it is the better of the two.
Yes, it is. It's like when they kill her, it's like, am I supposed to feel bad that she's dead? Because I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
And
no,
they could
she
have
was-
fixed
she was
that
the
so
worst part.
easily too, right? They just should have had it actually being a kidnapping.
Yeah,
And they just force her
exactly.
to turn the machine on, and the
Exactly.
machine sends the monsters going insane, and boom, you got a fucking movie. You don't need all this
Exactly.
exposition bullshit.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't need
'cause-
this. Oh, I'm actually working with these guys, and
I'm
it's
the leader.
What the fuck are you talking about? These are goddamn monsters.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
And the only other
fucking-
part I didn't care for was when they all bowed to Godzilla. I was just like, that's a little cheesy. I mean, I could see him submitting and just kind of like slumping off or whatever, but not like fucking walking up and bowing to him. He's the king.
Yeah. Brian Barth, if they wouldn't have called it Godzilla, it would have been an all right movie.
I don't hate it. I don't love it as much as Yellow Flash, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. It's just not really Godzilla. so.
I've
No,
heard-
it's not really Godzilla.
I've heard people say that they enjoy it if they don't like. If
If you just
think
look
of it
at
as
it
a
like it's a
Godzilla movie.
monster attacking New York kind of movie, there's nothing wrong with it. The characters are enjoyable enough. The story pace is okay.
and that was the one Roland Emmerich directed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But there is a part of me that wishes we'd had gotten the other Godzilla we were supposed to get that got killed for that one.
Yeah,
Even though I'm not so sure I would have liked some of the stuff that happened in it, but I don't know if you know much about it, but like the short version is it was what's his face? Oh crap. Stan Winston designed Godzilla. It looked actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it did look bad. I've seen a picture of it.
Yeah. And then Godzilla was in ice. And we found out, this is the part I didn't like. We found out he was built or created by an ancient race to protect Earth. Like, I didn't really like that part. I just like when he's just like a mutant or, part of our nature in general.
Yeah,
But either way, then the villain, though, was really cool. Because first they have Godzilla getting loose, and then this alien being comes down from outer space, and it collects up DNA from other creatures. Starts with bats and then gets to a lion and all these other things. And what it's doing is it's trying to be able to find a way to be able to live in our atmosphere. And by the time it's said and done, it looks like this big old bat, like lion monster creature. It's called the Griffin.
Oh,
and, and that was what Godzilla was supposed to fight. But the whole thing was we ended up killing Godzilla, or so we thought. And then the Griffin shows up and we're fuck. We needed Godzilla all this time. And then so luckily he gets revived and
that would have been pretty decent for the most part. Like I said, though, I don't really hate the 98 one. It's just, you got to look at it as if it's not Godzilla and you'll enjoy the movie.
The other version would have harkened back more to classic Godzilla, though. Because,
yeah, definitely.
The 98 version is barely a remake of, like, only in concept only. Really, if you look at it, is it a remake of Godzilla?
True, it's true. It's good Godzilla talk. We don't usually talk Godzilla a whole lot.
We're going to talk a little bit more, probably.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. I guess I'll go on to
yeah, might as well move on.
My pick. I doubt either one of you guys have seen this one. But I just recently watched this. I bought it and I recently watched it, and I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Scare Package.
Never heard of that one either.
It's from Shudder.
Never heard of it.
I enjoy. Man, this movie is right up my alley. It's a what do you call it? An anthology, a horror comedy anthology, right? And the plot of the movie is Chad Buckley, who owns Rad Chad's video store. He owns a video store, and he has like the one customer that's always aggravating him. And he gets a new employee, and essentially they go through horror movie tropes in 7 tales. And with like any anthology series, not all the tales are great. There's like 3 of them that I was like, yeah, I didn't care for those 3. But there's enough in the movie that keeps you going, especially with the segments in between at the video store when they're talking. That stuff really holds together, and they really pull off the ending with that when it gets to the final story with them, with what's going to happen to them. But it's great. They play into the tropes, the horror movie tropes, and there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of gore. It's over the top, and I loved it. And Joe Bob Briggs makes a cameo appearance in it, and that right there, that's a win in my book, because if you guys know me and you've seen my channel, you know I love The Last Drive-In, Monster Vision, all that. Joe Bob Briggs is one of my all-time favorite commentary critics host. So it's a fun movie. It's a fun watch.
I was this close to getting an interview with him.
Oh, seriously?
He's like, I don't usually do a lot of those kind of things. Hit me up when I'm not so busy or something like that, he said. Anyway, you were saying, sorry.
If you ever get an interview with him, sneak me in just for a minute. But yeah, if you like, yeah, I would love that. But if you like horror movies, and you know that, especially if you're like us who talk movies a lot, if you know the tropes, you'll enjoy this movie, especially when they go through like each segment, because each segment is like based off of like a horror movie trope. Like there's one segment called the night he wouldn't die, part 4, which is basically, it's like a horror movie slasher. It's he keeps keep trying to kill him, and he just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. So it really plays well on those tropes, and it does really well in like the first story, One Time in the Woods. That story is freaking crazy as I don't even know how to explain it. It's so good. You have to see that. And like I said, out of the 7 tales, 3 of them are not that great, but because I know in some cases in anthology series, if a bad tale can ruin an anthology, but you can kind of just fast forward them. You don't really need to worry about them, but they're not as bad, they're not real bad, but it's great. It's just, it plays into all the tropes and all the horror movies, and it's really good. And like, because I'll give you one of the coolest parts is like they have in one there's a killer. He's pretty much like Jason, Leatherface, all them all wrapped into one, and he's chasing these guys, the people. And the one kid was like, "What do we do? I've only ever seen the one Friday the 13th with Corey Feldman." And so what he does is like he cuts all of his hair off and gets in the exact outfit Corey Feldman was in Jason in part 4 of Friday the 13th, and he acts like he's the kid to stop the killer, and it's fun. It's a good time. I enjoyed it. So I've heard it's a good, if you want to get into it because it's worth a watch. It's a fun watch, and it's not very long. So yeah. I don't want to give too much away in all of it because it does because like even though it's segments in between, like going through like VHS tapes or movies or telling the stories, it does build to something. And like the intercut, like with the video store and the cashier and the guy, it leads to their tale at the end. And it's I don't want to spoil that, but check it out. It's worth a view. I enjoyed it, and plus this is only like $12, so that's why I love Shudder. When I find something's good and they put stuff on Blu-ray, their Blu-rays are super cheap and they look really good. So Check it out if you guys want. That was my pick. Like, I knew my first two picks there, not a lot of people would be able to talk about because I was the only one who's seen them. But there you go. Deleted Scene says, I've heard good things about Scare Package. I think, yeah, it's on Shudder. You should check out a movie called Beyond the Gates. I've heard that might be good too because it's got Barbara Crampton in it, and I like her. So check that out. Thank you, Deleted Scenes. Yep, been meaning to watch this one. Sounds good.
I don't have much to add or ask after.
I know. I knew there wasn't going to be much
That's what
conversation.
sucks when somebody hasn't seen the movies seen sometimes, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys ever get a chance to watch it, check it out. It's a fun watch. I probably watched it too early because it'd be a good one to watch at Halloween time. But I watch horror movies all the time, so other than like the Halloween movies, because I wait till October to watch those type of movies. Runner, what do you got for us?
So this one I literally just watched right before we started the show. First time I think I think I watched half of it like months ago, and I just haven't gotten to the rest of it, but I finally watched all of it. I know Tom loves this movie. It's a Stanley Kubrick film, and it's a Sony release. Doctor Strangelove.
Doctor Strange. Or How I Stopped Loving the Bomb or something, right?
Oh, they did finally release that in its own. Huh?
How I Learned to Stop. Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
I like it. It's good. I probably need to rewatch it again because I remember Tom telling me like it was like super hilarious and all that, but maybe I don't understand the humor as much as you do. I don't know. That's just me though. But like it's decent. It's not my favorite Kubrick film, but
Maybe
I like
just
it.
because wasn't expecting it to be as funny. I don't know. But I also love Peter Sellers, so that also helps. But
Yeah, he's great in it.
Yeah. Man, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
This is one I can't talk a whole lot on myself because it's been years and years and years.
You need to do yourself a favor.
I haven't seen it in so long. I think I remember just the guy riding the bomb at the end is all I really truly remember. And the war room. I remember the war room.
Yeah.
Strong thing.
Hello. No, this is a friendly call. Well, of course it's a friendly call.
Oh yeah, that part that part I got a little chuckle out.
Well, if it wasn't, you wouldn't even have got it.
The whole phone call bit I did.
We got an oopsie. We had a mistake.
See, now look, he's like, Runner will laugh at that, but he couldn't get it during the movie.
Well, no, because I did.
It might be because it is, maybe it's just me because I'm used to movies that are paced like that. It could very well be that just Runners, because the pace of the movie is, the jokes aren't like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Fast.
They are like, it's the scene is almost like a setup sometimes for the punchline at the end of the scene in a lot of cases. And then just the whole idea of, what set the original guy off to set this whole thing in motion, and that whole bit, it's leading up to like the third act, and the third act, almost like the humor, because it's almost like what Kubrick did. He did what he does with the suspense, right? Or any other thing he does. He builds it as you go along to where that third act is just like where all the humor kind of is really, right? Or where the big jokes are. And he even cut it before it went completely overboard. And famously, we'll never probably see the scene, and that is the pie scene at the end that got cut, and he reportedly destroyed the negative of. So, but there's pictures that exist of it and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as approaching it as a black comedy, I think at that time he knew no other way to do it. And I think a lot of it was his kind of way of commenting just on how preposterous the whole idea where we were at in that position. And there's just so much going into it, right? Everything from just the idea of at any moment, Russia or China or us could launch a nuclear, warhead, or, it could start over, just like the idea of this. That's kind of where it came from. Like, oh my God, what if, something like this had happened on accident, or some rogue general or something like that managed to set off a nuke, what would happen? Kind of like the whole song 99 Red Balloons. I know the American version kind of loses it in translation, but the original German version, what it's about is it was about when the East and West Germany, when it was divided by the wall, what would happen if somebody let go a bunch of balloons on the one side and one balloon straight onto the other, and they mistook it for a warcraft, and it inadvertently started a war, right? Like that's kind of what this is, the bigger version of that idea, right? Just like what could happen, and just Kubrick was just like, we're sitting here thinking that we can tell our kids to go duck and cover under a fucking desk, and it's going to save their life in nuclear war. What the hell do you think is going to happen? Right. So, you almost got to kind of have to like look at it in that way, because you can't really, it would be such a dour film if it was, I don't think anybody would sit through it if it was not, right? It's one of those movies that I think it would really crawl up your skin, and you're just like, I can't sit through this. Like, cause especially at the time that the reality was that is like, this could really happen at any moment kind of thing. Like, I remember seeing this last year when the Ukraine thing kicked off. We had how many people were freaking out thinking we're going to have World War III. I'm like, what as far as have anymore? Like, we learned then they were full of shit. Yeah. And now you think that they're not any better? Like, so like, no, I mean, that's the thing. And I think that's kind of where Kubrick was kind of a realist in that respect. Yeah. So I think that's kind of the way he approached it. And I know that was a very long kind of explanation, but Doctor Strangelove was just, it's his only comedy, so it really does require the there's a lot. It does kind of require that kind of examination though. Yeah. So yeah.
I get it, definitely. Yeah. And you could sort of got to approach it that way, like you said, because of
it's definitely my top 3 of his films. It may even be one of my favorites. Like when I saw it, I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it. Like I knew I was gonna like it, but I was like, holy shit, I enjoyed this so much more than I ever thought. And I didn't see it until a couple of years ago.
Oh, what other movies of his? Like what other movies of his are in your top 3?
Well, Clockwork Orange, obviously.
Yeah, there's Clockwork Orange.
Probably 2001.
Did you see a Clockwork Orange finally, Greg?
No, I still haven't seen it. I've been meaning to. I like The Shining.
So. Yeah, the Shining might The Shining might be my favorite of his. Yeah, Clockwork Orange is good. I like Full Metal Jacket more than most people.
My only problem is the last half of the movie with that one.
I know.
Yeah.
And I have to rewatch Eyes Wide Shut. I haven't seen it since it first came out.
That's another one I watched recently because it was on Netflix.
See, at the time, I thought it was this very pretentious movie. And now in hindsight and retrospect, I can probably look at it with completely different eyes and see it differently.
See, I didn't think it was all that bad.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably like it more now than I did then. As far as I haven't seen Barry Lyndon in years. I haven't seen Lolita in years. I haven't seen what else has he got? I just got Paths of Glory and his film noir one in the mail. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, because he's got a few 4K...
I love Spartacus. Even though that's really not one of his movies, it is, but it is.
I still gotta watch that one.
I am Spartacus.
Have you seen Eyes Wide Shut, Greg?
The Killing, that's the one. Thank you, David Rayner.
Yeah, The Killing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got those
I've
two.
Seen
I just haven't watched
parts
them
of Eyes Wide Shut, and I turned it off. I didn't care for it.
Really?
Yeah, that's
I can understand why. You got to understand when that movie came out, we weren't really keyed into a lot of the kinky, weird sex parties that were going on in Hollywood and shit.
That's true. It's true.
And it just at the time it came out, it was his last movie. He died, I think, just before it came out, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And it just felt very pretentious at the time it came out. And he had not done a movie since Full Metal Jacket. So it was just kind of like, you're going to do this after all these years, Stanley? Come on. And then it turned into being his last film, so I think a lot of fans were kind of upset about that.
Right.
I think the critics, they praised it pretty well. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, it got nominated for a few Oscars, but I think a lot of that had more to do with the fact that he died.
Right.
My point was going to say, if he had lived and made a few more movies after that, I bet you they would have trashed that movie at the time.
Probably. I mean, to be honest, I'll be honest with you. I rented the movie because I wanted to see boobs. I heard, I saw some of the people that was in it and stuff, and I wanted to see the boobs. And I got about 20 minutes into it, and I turned it off. But maybe
Really?
it's time I should go back and give it a rewatch and revisit it.
I was gonna say, like, if you watch the first 20 fucking minutes, you have not seen a whole lot, dude.
No, as I said, I couldn't make it past.
That's the
first 20
thing,
minutes,
though. You
but-
got to understand, like, it was advertised like it was like 50 Shades of Grey back then.
Yeah, it was.
Like they were talking
that's why I
about it
rented
like that, and then we didn't realize then it was about all these weird sex parties they were having in Hollywood and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd say watch it now, Greg. You might get a different like view.
well, I
of
know
it,
I would get it different now because I was like,
Absolutely.
oh shit, I was a young kid. So-
Exactly. Yeah, that movie came out what 96, I think it was.
Yeah.
95.
No,
Yeah.
So I was like 15,
no, that was
16 when I saw that.
no,
so,
that was
yeah.
no, it was 99.
Was it? Okay, so I was
It's
19.
99.
Yeah, it was 99.
and I
saw
was
it was
like
scrolling.
16.
Because that was when Kubrick died.
Okay, yeah. So I was like 19, 20 when I saw it. So the only reason I probably watched it was to get laid. Like, really.
I don't know. No, I mean it's on Netflix, Greg, so you can watch it there. But it honestly got my attention the whole time.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of his other films because I've got like this imported UK box set that has like every one of his movies in it except for some of his earlier ones. And,
What do you think?
that's in there.
Was Stanley Kubrick killed because of Eyes Wide Shut?
Wait, was he killed?
I don't know, maybe, but he didn't live the healthiest of lives from what we know. So
I was
You
gonna,
never know.
I was gonna say
he was
that
quite the homebody who loved to drink.
was
and
that
eat, so.
was that the cause of his death? What the hell?
There's some people who years later kind of have conspiracy theories.
There's a Netflix documentary on Kubrick.
I wonder which one that one is because I have one that I bought that I thought was one about him, but it's actually about his assistant.
It says it was natural causes.
Well, of course it does.
Yeah, it's like, you believe everything you read there, Runner?
No, I'm just saying. Brian Bart said, "Was Stanley Kubrick killed?"
He was
Of
posing a
course.
question.
It's the conspiracy.
Yeah, but that's weird. It's like
He died the same way Michael Jackson and Prince and Jimmy Morrison did.
holy shit. No. What? Highlight,
We don't really know.
Highlight Dan Blackroyd's comment. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm kidding.
No, highlight Dan Blackroyd's comment. That's fucking hilarious.
Shit.
That would make a lot of sense.
I don't know. What do you think about that? I forgot he was part of that.
I'm sure
I
it would
forgot
have been
about
better.
that.
I'm sure it would have been better because it's one of Steven Spielberg's worst films. And
Yeah,
the
it is.
reason for that is because he tried making a Kubrick film instead of just trying to make a Spielberg movie.
That's another one I shut off about halfway through. I couldn't make it through that one.
Wait, which one?
AI artificial
I've seen
intelligence.
the whole thing, but the big it's Pinocchio.
Yeah,
It's
that's what it is. I mean, when you're watching it, it's like Haley Joel Osment, and
it's like, are you fucking kidding
Jude
me?
Law, and it's like, yeah, and I get it. I'll turn it off.
I think Kubrick had something else to say with that Spielberg just didn't quite tap into. But yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was Shelley Duvall getting her revenge, that would be a natural cause, in a certain point of view.
I don't know, maybe from hers.
No, I didn't think the movie was actually Doctor Strangelove. That's the one I showed. That was good. But Eyes Wide Shut, I did not mind that one. Thought it was an interesting movie.
I'm surprised they didn't make you watch Doctor Strangelove in your film class.
No, they made us watch The Shining, but I've already
Really?
seen that. Yeah, no,
Wow.
they made us watch The
That's like
Shining.
the most obvious one
why?
to choose.
Like, I mean, I get it, like that, but that's like his most commercial of all his films.
Exactly.
No, the reason why they made us watch The Shining was because they had to put one horror film in there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's why, because every other film that we've seen is like it's like a certain
Then you watch
category.
Psycho.
Yeah, watch Psycho. I love that
That's
freaking
10
movie.
times better than The Shining, because Shining is good. Now, here's my point: is because Kubrick, he's one of those guys where if you're not gonna watch 2001, and if not, why not do Clockwork Orange? Even that's more of a horror in a way.
Yeah.
But now I know it's not your decision, Runner, but
Nah, I know. I was like, I mean,
that makes no fucking sense.
No,
It does.
because the teacher like showed us like the roster of movies we were gonna watch in class, and it was like, okay, there's Citizen Kane, of course they're gonna make us watch that. Chris Nolan's Memento was one of them. Like, I can see why they'd show us that. That's a good flick. They showed us Do the Right Thing from Spike Lee. That's an appropriate one, I think. And then The Shining was there, and I'm like, what? I mean, it's a good movie, but
It's not one you show in a film class when you're trying to show Kubrick's best work. That's my point.
Yeah,
Shining is his commercial film. You want to show something, you show 2001, you show Clockwork Orange, or Doctor Strangelove.
I was gonna say I would say like Doctor Strangelove or A Clockwork Orange would probably be the most appropriate for a Stanley Kubrick film, because
if not at least 2001, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the quintessential one. But I mean,
yeah. But
especially for a film class, I can see 2001. But
I can see that.
Or
one
the
too.
independent way you could show Clockwork Orange, because it shows how you can make a compelling story without, having to have a lot of a huge budget, right?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather, if I were to show a film class, or if I were to like teach one, like I'd rather show A Clockwork Orange than 2001. But that's just me.
No, I agree with you in that respect. As far as
A Clockwork Orange, I'm not saying that 2001's like a bad movie.
No,
like,
but it's not a good introduction to Kubrick, probably.
No, because here's the thing, it's a really slow burn for me personally. It took me 3 days to watch it. The visuals and all the effects and all that are fucking amazing in all that respect, but like, because didn't he do that one after Doctor Strangelove? Because that was like 60s when he did 2001.
Yeah.
Because
trying to remember which one he did. He did 2001 first. Pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Because I think that was his first big movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong. You could be right, but I think.
Let me look.
I think Strangelove was actually like 69 or 68, and I want to say 2001 was like 67, but I could be getting.
No, I just looked it up. So Doctor Strangelove is 64. 2001 is 68. So
okay, you're right. The first time. I'm sorry. I didn't realize Doctor Strangelove was that old.
Yeah, it's pretty old. It's got the classic Columbia logo or intro in it too. So yeah, but like
that's true. It makes sense. It's closer to the 50s.
But Tom, I think this is my guess as to why they showed The Shining in our film class. Is probably because, like, again, like I said, they probably needed to show one horror film to the class, and because Stanley Kubrick directed it. That's probably why.
I still would have said Psycho was a better pick.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Psycho would,
because we actually watched that in my high school class. That and The Birds.
We didn't watch. Surprisingly, we didn't watch Psycho. Well, the film class was like weird, like in my high school, because like they showed us like Citizen Kane, which is like, it was just probably like a law in film school. Like they have to show us that. But then they let us watch Kill Bill 1. And then I don't, for some fucking reason, Men in Black was one of them. I'm like, I like the movie, but it's like, why are you showing us that movie? Just, I don't know. I forgot there were a few other ones. I know there were like, I know the teacher gave us like optional like movies to watch, and I think Goodfellas was one of them.
Nice.
That was like an optional like one though. Like yeah, you can
That
just watch
should
it.
be should be. Because like, did you watch any Scorsese movies?
Like in my film class?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What kind of
Nah,
film
no.
school are you at?
That's what I'm starting to think here, right? Like, there's like, okay, here's 5 directors you have, like, there's a must that you have to show a movie from, right? Kubrick, Scorsese, Spielberg, Hitchcock, and take your pick between like either Howard Hawks or what's his face? I'm sorry, I just forgot his name. Who directed It's a Wonderful Life? Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Capra.
Yeah, Frank
Right,
Capra.
so you got to at least have those 5, right?
I agree.
Just to start with.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And then from there you can expand, but then you get into your De Palmas and your Friedkins and
Brian De Palma.
Tarantino and shit like that.
Yeah,
And I love Men in Black. But that was fucking what's his face's like second fucking directing movie.
Oh yeah, Baron
Sonnenfeld. Yeah. He did Addams Family before that.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't show us any Kurosawa films. Like, I wish like that should have been another one that they would have shown. But
And no offense, but Sonnenfeld hasn't exactly turned out to be some grandiose director himself. he's average to good. I'm just saying.
Brian Barth, I probably would have turned off the movie so quickly if it was a comedy starring Steve Martin.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I probably would have lasted longer in the movie than I did when I first saw it. So
Who would have been his co-star though?
Yeah. That'd have been interesting.
I would have loved to have seen Bernadette Peters naked, but was she still alive by then? I think she's probably dead by then. I can't remember. I don't even remember. Sergio Leone, like, come on here.
Yeah,
like, I hope you at least watched one of their. Like, come on.
Renner knows more than his teacher. Surprisingly, it sounds like it. It does sound like it.
Oh, I learned from the
like
best.
Oliver Stone and shit and some other ones, but Jesus, what the hell, man?
You know, Platoon wouldn't even be a bad one. Yeah, right?
Did you watch any Clint Eastwood directed film?
No, I haven't.
But... Unforgiven, at least. Oh
yes,
my God.
I love that freaking movie.
That should be on any curriculum of a film school class. Is Unforgiven.
That's on my list because of how much you hype that up, Tom.
Oh my God,
that is a good movie.
The greatest Western of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
Seriously?
It's better than any other Western. But I mean, the only ones that are close are like Tombstone.
Okay.
You know, but it's not one of those kind of Westerns. It's a serious Western. But,
yeah, it's like a little bit of a slow burn, but once it gets into that movie, man, it's just
it's just one of those that the cast makes the movie, right?
Exactly.
Clint at his best, Clint. You got Morgan Freeman, young virile Morgan Freeman doing his best, and then you got fucking Gene Hackman just chewing the fucking scenery.
He's an evil mother. Oh, he's such a good character in that movie.
Amazing in it, and yeah, it leads up to this, build up to this great fucking climax, right? And I don't know, we've gone way off the beaten path of Dr. Strangelove, but. No, you got to do yourself a favor, Greg. That's one that you got to get your hands on.
Yeah, I'll get on Strangelove. I've seen, as far as I can remember, I've seen it because I remember parts of it. I just,
you got good, bad, and the ugly and whatnot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, Unforgiven, technically wise, is the objectively better film. Because Tombstone is basically. I know it was before Michael Bay was a thing, but Tombstone is almost like if Michael Bay decided to make a Western.
Yeah, it's like more.
You guys got to understand. It was like, the height of the MTV Western, right? We had Young Guns, and a couple of those kind of things come out, and then that was just like Tombstone came out, and that's kind of even the way they advertised it. Like, let's put it this way: if fucking, I guarantee you. Kid Rock had been a thing by that point and the cowboy song was a thing, they'd have put it in that fucking trailer.
They probably would have written that.
I
for
can see somebody
Tombstone, yeah.
editing a trailer of Tombstone to that fucking song
I'm
right
a
now.
cowboy,
Boy,
baby.
baby, the #1 film in America, Tombstone.
But Tombstone
be
is a
Huckleberry.
fucking awesome movie. But Unforgiven, man, that's like the pinnacle of like westerns, you know.
Academy Award winning Western.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're both great movies. Like if you had to go, it's like top 2 westerns all time, Unforgiven and Tombstone, and you can't go wrong with either one. So
And Josie Wales is up there too. Though.
yeah,
Don't
all
forget that
Josie
one.
Wells is good. And one of
But
my
of course,
favorites
you've
is
got your pick
not
between.
Hell Brother, but
I mean, if I had to tell somebody they had to watch a few westerns, it'd be like Josie Wales, Unforgiven, Magnificent Seven, and then I'd probably throw in there A Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And you got to have at least 1 or 2 John Waynes. So either The Searchers is a good one, but I really love the original, the one they just remade here not too long ago, True Grit.
oh yeah, True Grit. True Grit's a good one.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Tom. If I told
Wild
you,
Bunch has got to be in there too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and that's
Well, there's a good list we could be making, but yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Runner? I'm sorry.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. No, Tom, I was gonna say, like, if I told you like a few more films that I remember like seeing my film class like last year and like for, like second semester of college, I feel like you'd freak the fuck out.
Probably, and it's not like I don't like the films. It's like I like Men in Black, but it's like that's not a film
Well,
class level fucking movie.
That was high school.
Oh, okay.
That was high.
That's
That was high
different.
school. Like college, they actually showed us like most of like the artsy fartsy shit.
I would say at least if you're gonna show like a comedy, show Back to the Future for fuck's sake, because at least there's a lesson to be taught in that.
Yeah.
About script writing and pacing and editing and everything. So
Yeah.
And like for some reason they showed us was it what's that movie with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet?
Oh wow.
Oh, Spotless Mind. I can see that. That's a pretentious indie film. Yeah.
Yeah. They made that was like the last movie they made us watch, and
I mean, I can understand showing that one, but if I'm going to show something like that, I'd probably go more along with like either Being John Malkovich or I don't know. I mean, I never could get into the Spotless Mind one, but I know people like that one.
and that
Yeah,
one,
I'm
and
not a
that
fan of
one's
myself.
and that one's got a 4K release from Kino.
Yep, it's getting 4K. Yep.
They also made us watch Lady Bird just to show us a modern like artsy like movie, which is a A24 movie. It wasn't a bad movie, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
But I can see that film being like showed for like future classes, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
right.
What do you got, Tom? What's your is this your final pick? Yeah, your final pick.
Yes, it is. I continued on the Godzilla thing, and I was supposed to have a counter to go with this, but I haven't got it yet in the mail. This though is the basically H2O before H2O. In 1984, they decided to revive Godzilla, and this is a sequel to the original film, disregarding all the sequels up to that point and starting the new era of Godzilla films. And some people give this movie a bad rap. It got destroyed by the critics when it came out in the U.S. Now, the U.S. version is different, and I will get into that when I get it, because it's hard to come by. I don't know if the version I'm getting is going to be a bootleg or it's an actual import, but I will find out when I get it.
Nice.
But this one is the Japanese version. And to me, it is one of the better Godzilla films. The story is basically, like I said, 30 years after the original.
Is that where Raymond Bird comes back in it?
That would be in the American version, but that's not in this version.
Oh, okay.
So
See,
that's
where it
I'll
always
get
gets
into
me.
that one. I was hoping to have that one for tonight, but I didn't. But no, this is just the Japanese-only version, which, much like the original, is one of the few that is quite different from the two, right? But again, it's just a few scenes that are swapped around and a few storylines that are kind of botched a little bit. And that's what I was thinking, Mike, but I got one coming in the mail and it claims to be an HD version, so I'll tell you what kind of quality it is.
Runner has to go, so Runner,
Yeah.
say
Of course
your
he does.
goodbyes.
Hey, I gotta work
You're
early.
a wiener.
Wiener.
No, I gotta fucking open the store. I gotta open the store that I work in.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, responsibilities, exactly. And then I have to go to school right after that. So yeah, I'm a busy man.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next Wednesday, man.
All right.
All right.
Night.
Have a good one. Bye.
I'll put my channel in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead, do it. All right. So, what are your thoughts on this one, Tom? The Japanese version here.
Nah, I like it. Like I said, it's a pretty decent film. It almost feels like it was Toho's answer to the '76 King Kong in a way.
Right.
A little bit more serious, updated. And according to the thing, Mike, I don't know if Mantis Video is an actual release company, but that's who they claim has released this in the mail. I wouldn't heard before either, but yeah. Anyway, it was pretty good. I have an HD bootleg that's decent. Yeah, I know there's rights issues, and that's probably the one I'm getting then. It's probably a bootleg. But I have no issue with that because that's the version I grew up on, right? Like that's the version I want.
Right.
Because I like this version, but I prefer kind of like the original film. I prefer the Raymond Burr version better because that's the one I grew up on. But no, it's pretty good. The effects are pretty decent for Godzilla film, and still being a man in a suit 90% of the time. It looks like they have like a bigature kind of animatronic version for some shots.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and this is one that leads into. Didn't mean to cut you off there. This is one that leads in there's like several sequels to this one, right?
Yes, this was a new era. This one started a new era.
Yeah, it ends with the one with the I can't remember the name of it, where the monster they bring that monster, and it kills him once and for all or whatever.
Oh, that's right, or whatever.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I have them all. It's been so long since I watched them, but like this is one of the ones that I usually watch the most and have seen the most. And I like it. Yeah, this is the one that has all the Dr. Pepper promotions in it, as brought up. It gets a bad rap. The story is pretty good. Godzilla comes back. They try to keep it under wraps. That doesn't work out too well. There's a really cool opening scene where this vessel gets attacked by Godzilla, and he leaves like these killer parasites, and like are huge to us, you know.
Yeah.
And there's this really cool, like almost horror scene in the beginning of the movie where this journalist finds this abandoned, or what he thinks is like an abandoned ship, but it turns out to be full of dead people. And
I remember that. I think
and then he gets attacked by one of the parasites, and then this other guy who's alive, the only guy left alive on the ship, helps him, but the government's trying to keep him under wraps, so he goes to tell the guy's sister that they found his brother and he's still alive, and that's just to kind of, he does that to kind of get a story out of it, and so she kind of gets pissy with him about that. And yeah, Mike, I mean, it is probably one of my favorite Godzilla movies on top of it all. It just the way it's shot, the way it looks, it has a really corny, cheesy song to go with it, like Sayonara Godzilla and shit like that is the American version. It's really worked out.
I love those. When it just fits those movies for whatever weird reason.
But yeah, it's not a bad movie. And then the government's got this SpaceX machine that's kind of like a flying tank with like lasers, and they shoot I forgot what kind of bullets they shoot at him, but they have a reaction on him because he's nuclear, of course. And then, of course, the Russians accidentally launch a nuke, so the Americans have to save their ass, which kind of feels weird, but it's just like, okay, you clearly was probably getting an American release. Which is funny because in the American version, they amp it up even more. They make it like the Russians did it on purpose, and the Americans save their ass, so it's even like we're even more heroes in that version. But yeah, so it goes on, and what's cool is it doesn't have Godzilla fighting another monster. It's just a pure, straightforward Godzilla movie. He's the problem, you know.
Right.
Even though you do have the one scene where the space, I kind of am surprised they never said anything about it, but the SpaceX weapon almost fucking makes as much damage or more damage than Godzilla does in some scenes. But no, it's a fun movie. Not too much human stuff like a lot of these movies sometimes are.
Right.
Plenty of Godzilla, some really cool shots, really cool moments, especially considering there's no big kaiju fights or anything like that. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. I don't want to give away the ending, but
Right.
yeah, I'll let you guys know when I get the
other one.
evidently bootleg version of 85.
We'll find out if it's a good one or not. But yeah, I think I remember, like you said, the American version. I remember some of those parts you were talking about there from that one.
Yeah, a lot of that was just Ravenberg cut into scenes again and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, there's a few things a little out of sequence, but otherwise it's fairly similar.
Right. That's good. That's cool. It's cool, man.
It's one of those films where you can jump into it, like Jack just said in the chat there, because
a good start.
Yeah, if you don't want to wade through some of the goofier fucking Godzilla movies, you can basically watch the first one, then jump to 84, and then that gets you into that era.
Yeah.
So like, which is a little bit more serious era. It's a little bit better special effects. None of the dancing, goofy fucking Godzilla shit.
I think that's the era most people remember, to be honest with you.
Pretty sure I don't think Godzuki's in that shit either. So.
Nice. Cool.
Has some weird monsters, I'll give you that. Like he fights like the smog monster and like this Volante thing, which is kind of like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. But no, for the most part though, that has some of the cooler ones where he fights like multiple monsters and the cooler versions of some of the classic monsters that we love. So yeah, then I think that era ran all the way up through, I think it ended right after the 98 film, if I'm not mistaken, because that would have been the Final Wars, I think, or whatever it is.
Yeah. And then
I do love that era, don't get me wrong, Jack, because that was the era I grew up on. But finally getting to see a lot of those late 80s and 90s Godzilla films was kind of a treat, because I was a fan of Godzilla 85, and a lot of those films didn't get brought over here. So yeah, Volante is the sequel. Yeah, that I was gonna say there was a couple of years between those two, if I remember right. Because that one I think came out in 89, so like there was a whole 4-year gap between them.
Cool. So I don't like a huge Godzilla knowledge. I just know from bits and pieces of seeing certain movies on TV through the years.
Well, this starts off a more serious series as opposed to the other one, which got more kid friendly after Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, so 95 was the last. I thought that one was is the other one start a new era then?
Didn't they do like a Godzilla 2000?
That may be the one that starts the new era.
Started the millennium. Yeah.
Ended with Final Wars. 2000 started the new. Okay. Never mind.
There.
I knew it was somewhere around there. I've got them all. I haven't watched a lot of them in years. Because Sony released about most of the latter ones, like past 2000 and beyond. Actually, they released some of the 90s ones too, and those were in like 2 packs. And then like this Kraken video released a bunch of them. I got some of those, and they're from multiple eras. And then I got there's a few other random releases, ones from other companies, and then I've got the box set that Criterion came out with. And I think I've got almost all of them. I think I'm only missing like 1 or 2, if that, of all the Godzilla films. So I'd have to look again. It's been a while since I've checked, but I think that, or I might have them all now, or at least all of them that have been released outside of the 85 version, I think.
Cool. I need to get on those. Get into the Godzilla again.
Unless there's, because the one in the Mike will have to correct me if I'm wrong, or somebody else. Because if with the Criterion box set, I think once I got that, I think I had all of them finally. Because prior to that, all the ones, there was a few scattered of those released. And then, because the box set goes from the original film up through, shit, I'm trying to remember what the last one is, but I think it's also the 60s and 70s films. Because in 84 starts off that era. So then in 2000 starts off the other era. And I think I've got all of them then, because I've got Shin Godzilla as well. So yeah,
Nice.
unless there's one that hasn't been released that I don't remember offhand.
Yeah. That's cool. It's cool, man. Like I said, I need to get back into the
There's
Godzilla
like
stuff.
20
I've seen
fucking movies. Though,
yeah, there's so
man.
many of them. It's just like I've seen like every once in a while we catch them on TV, and I've seen them. So I have never seen them in the order they're supposed to be in, but I've seen the original. I'm pretty sure I've seen that one you just held up, and I've seen other ones here and there, and I've seen Godzilla vs Kong, the original, and all that.
Right.
Just it's
Yeah, well, that one's kind of the. Well, you could almost, like I said, the second film kind of is on its own in a weird way as far as compared to the other ones, even though I believe Godzilla vs. Kong picks up right after the second film. But yeah. And then Godzilla vs. Kong kind of sets off that goofiness era. It just gets goofier and goofier and goofier and more kiddier and kiddier and kiddier from there.
right.
It's where some of the last ones were some of the cheapest and most kid-friendly ones there were, if I remember right. Where they started even reusing footage from the other films and shit. And I think one was like a flashback to a bunch of Godzilla's greatest fights and shit. It's like those are the ones that I'm not a big fan of. Like I kind of like All Monsters Attack or whatever, but some of the other ones are not. In that latter part, they're just kind of cheesy as fuck.
I have to get to them.
I like them as a kid though. Like I grew up watching them like this. Most of them are missing otherwise available English dubs. Special features are light. Criterion also carried over transfer error that Toho. Yeah, I heard some about that, and I heard Toho wouldn't give them any better transfers than those. And I believe, if I remember right, those were like some video HD transfers from back in the day. They're not even that great. Yeah, the transfers are not the best. The Godzilla box that is from 54 to 74. Yeah, that's what I thought. Most films are missing. What do you mean they're missing? Like, they're in there, other than the latter films, yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out what he means by missing. Or otherwise available English dubs. Oh, yeah, that one thing it did, I was upset. I was upset they didn't have all some of them had like newer dubs on them, and they weren't the original dubs. Because I wanted the original dubs, yeah, because that's the shit I grew up with, was watching them on TBS and WGN and shit. Because they would show those in kung fu movies and shit every Friday and Saturday night and shit.
Oh, that sucks that they wouldn't even put the original dubs on there.
Yeah. Because I remember that pissed me off some. But I also have a collection somewhere that's like from a Japanese set, I believe. And it has some of the other dubs on there, and the American and the English versions both in the set. I'll have to dig it out because some of them are in standard def, but most of them are from HD scans. But I remember that version of King Kong versus Godzilla is much worse than the one I ended up with on the Blu-ray, though.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I didn't know there was a couple missing in there. It's news to me.
There's an error on a couple of films. Megalon, for one, where the bottom displays the first frame of the next shot throughout the film. Interesting. But if you're ready, I'll go on to my last pick. Yeah. That's cool though. Like I said, I really need to get back into the Godzillas. Now this one I meant to bring on last week, but it didn't arrive in time. So you guys get it this week, and that is Back to the Beach with Frankie Avalon and Annette. The bird is the word. This was a fun watch. I hadn't seen it in many years, and it was just talk about it like a nostalgia trip. And it's this weird mixture of 60s, 70s, and 80s all in one. It was just a fun watch. I had a good time watching it again and seeing all the craziness they put into this and the surfing and all that. It was fun. Yeah, and it's the new Paramount Presents one. Where that opens like this. There's the poster, and there's the case and everything. But yeah, it's a good one. I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it in many years. Pee Wee Herman and Oh, what's his name? The guy that from Get Smart. Missed it by that much.
Oh,
He's pretty funny in it. I can't think of his name either at
Damn
the
it.
moment.
He does Inspector Gadget's voice too.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
does
think of
Inspector
it.
Gadget. Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. It also has Gilligan in it, a bunch of
Yeah,
other
it's got
cameos.
Gilligan,
Yeah.
a bunch of cameos, and
I like
yeah,
that.
it
I
was-
remember watching that quite a bit back in the day. I got the Blu-ray, just haven't really watched it yet.
yeah, I got it. I decided to watch it, and it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it in many years. I think the last time I seen it was probably as a kid on TV, TBS or something like and it was fun. Don Adams,
that's it.
yeah.
I knew it
It was
was
just
something
funny.
simple, and I'm trying to think.
Because I
of it.
got all the
damn
Get
it.
Smarts, all 6 seasons of Get Smart. It just I keep forgetting his name, but yeah, he was funny in it. And Gilligan's funny in it, and it's Frankie and Annette are classic, and then they got their goofy kid who is like the complete opposite of them. They're like these 50s, 60s type people, and their kid is like a new modern age punk kid. And their daughter's Lori Loughlin, and she's pretty smoking hot in it. But it was pretty funny.
Before she was a felon. No.
Before she was a criminal, which kind of makes her hotter.
Criminal.
But
I don't know.
But yeah, that's it's not as in depth as Godzilla and stuff, and as well known, but it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I love the part when Gilligan he's finally getting it with this hot girl, and she's like, "You want to go be my steady or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah." Then all of a sudden, the skipper shows up, smacks him on the head, and says, "We got to get to the boat. We got a 3-hour tour." And he's like, "No, it's not a 3-hour tour. It's never a 3-hour tour. No!" And she pulls him away from the girl. So that was fun. I love those little nods, like stuff like that. That was pretty funny. And then like the bad cheesy surfing backgrounds when he, where he's just standing in front of a screen and the ocean's behind him. That's pretty cool. I like how they do that and act like it's still supposed to be real. That was fun. It was a fun movie. I had a fun time in it. It's very nostalgic. So I had to get it.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I always remembered "The Bird Is the Word" from Pee Wee Herman when he sings that.
Everybody's in.
He just, which is weird scene because he just comes out of nowhere and then he glows and flies away. It's like the weirdest part of the movie, and it's never explained. So yeah, there's that. But it was a fun watch. It's I didn't remember some of it, and then some of it I did, and it was good to see that type of movie again. But that's my final pick of the night.
All right. Well, I wish I'd watched it more recent. Maybe I could
Talk a
have
little
added
bit.
some more to it. But no, I think we cranked her out a 2-hour show here already.
Yeah, we did good. I mean, yeah. I knew most of my titles was probably not going to be
Sadly, I got work
lots to talk
freaking
about.
do,
So, yeah. So I thank you, Tom, for
thank you for having me as always, man.
coming on. Thank you, Runner. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I appreciate it.
Fuck your Best
Mike,
Buy runner.
yeah, fuck your Best Buy runner. Mike, thank you for showing up at the end. Dan Blackroy, Deleted Scenes, Tim Hayes, Jack of all trades, or casuals, Tyrell72, Heather Peterson was here, Cosmic Squirrel, Random Brad, Uncle Remus, your Muslim uncle was here. Brian Barth, if I didn't say your name, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody that was out there watching that didn't chat, thank you guys for watching. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And it would have worked if I'd have had the clip ready to go. Okay. Good night.
How you doing? Bitches leave.